Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Sunday where we talk about all things sci-fi and fantasy on our channel. And today we have got to talk about Alien Romulus. This is going to be our non-spoiler review, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so we have to talk about Alien Romulus. This is going to be our non-spoiler review, so I'm going to try to keep it kind of vague. I am going to bounce around a bit from topic to topic about the movie, though, so just kind of bear with me because in keeping it non-spoiler, I'm not going to reveal a lot of the plot. I'm just going to tell you some of the things, some of the elements that help to make the movie enjoyable for me, what I liked and what I didn't like sort of thing, but I'm going to keep even that sort of vague. But I did want to tell you whether or not this movie is worthwhile and give you my opinions on some of the things that we know about the movie. So first off, it takes place in between Alien and Aliens. So it's between the first movie and the sequel, and it fits nicely in there, having taken some inspiration from the original Alien, but also from everything else to kind of build this world up and try to make sense of some of the things that didn't make sense to maybe some people before. Now, this movie does have a really nice feel to it. Overall, I enjoyed that it sort of felt like the original. And that is good, because even though it takes place in between the first movie and the second one, it doesn't ever take away from the second one, nor should it, because the second one is a classic in its own right. It can't be compared to. Now, the movie is directed by Fede Alvarez, and I hope I'm saying his name right. I probably am not, but he is a pretty good director and seems to have a very good grip on this series. Now, the inspiration for this movie seems to be all things Alien. So he definitely took some inspiration from the different comic books that have come out about the Alien franchise over the years. He has definitely taken a little bit of inspiration from Prometheus. He's definitely taken a little bit of inspiration from all of the Alien franchise items in their entirety. I mean, that is kind of a good thing because it tells you that he knows the lore he's working with. So while I don't agree with every decision that was made in the movie, I actually do respect that he knows the history of this franchise, and this is someone that I could see moving on and doing a very good job in this franchise. Now, the movie itself deals with Rain Carradine, an orphan who works with her adoptive brother, and they work at a colony, Jackson Star. They basically want to leave the town. They want to travel. Well, they end up getting help from some of her friends, but everything sort of goes really wrong because they end up on a ship full of, guess what? Aliens. And that kind of sets up the movie. And it sets it up real nice. There's a little bit more to it, but I can't really tell you a whole lot about that part of the plot without spoilers. So I'm just going to kind of gloss over that part entirely and let you know that the remainder of the movie is them just fighting off different aliens. This is very reminiscent of some of the past Alien movies. And it has a couple plot twists in there too that make it really cool. Now, one of the things that I noticed in this movie is that they use practical effects. And if you're a big fan of practical effects like I am, then you know that that is important. The use of practical effects is unfortunately becoming more and more of a dying art with big budget movies, oftentimes going to just CGI. And I don't think that CGI always looks as amazing. This movie actually does use practical effects for what it does, and what it does with these practical effects, for the most part, works. There are some choices in the movie that I really didn't like. However, I think the movie itself is pretty good. It is sort of suspenseful, it is sort of scary. It does have a lot of Easter eggs that kind of remind you of the different films. And it has a lot of callbacks as well. That makes it a really nice film to watch if you are an Alien fan. And the cast is really good. Kaylee Spaney, and I hope I said her name right, is great as the character of Rain, an orphaned minor. And David Johnson is wonderful as her brother Andy. Also worth noting is Isabella Merced plays Kay. And Kay is one of those characters that I think really was underused in the movie, because Isabella Merced's role in this movie is amazing. She outshined everybody in the couple scenes that she was in, simply for the fact that she wasn't given much dialogue, but her elements that she added into the plot were just extraordinary. And also because she is part of one of those big moments in the movie, and that also helps. And the rest of the cast is pretty cool as well. You have Archie Renix as Tyler, you have Spike Bjorn as Bjorn, you have Eileen Wu as Navarro. Now, Navarro is actually one of my favorite characters as well. She is also one that's kind of underused in the movie, but is a part of several of the big moments in the movie early on. And she does add a lot to it. So I like the character overall. I thought that it was a really cool character that I would have liked to have seen explored more. But that being said, the movie does a good job of introducing these characters. It does a good job of making you care for even the most minor characters among them. I think that you were able to get sort of a feel for who each of the characters were and know their motives right away. Even down to the smallest role in the movie, you were able to know their motives. And that's something that not a lot of films succeed on. Sometimes that motive doesn't come across, or doesn't come across as strongly as it needs to. And I think this film did an excellent job of that. Then you also have Robert Boborotsky, and I hope I'm saying that name right. He is a Romanian basketball player, and he is part of one of those practical effects, essentially. So you get a lot of really cool things and a lot of cool performances throughout the movie. Now, the movie is promised to be the first in an ongoing set of movies, because he does plan to make several future movies in this franchise. And I'm 1000% down for it after seeing this one. There are some things that I really didn't care for in this movie. There are some twists and turns I could have done without, but very few actually. And even the ones that I didn't like all that much, I do have to admit looked cool at least. Somewhat cool anyway. And that was what made this movie work. It's not that this movie is going to ever top the original movies, but it does help this franchise to live on in our heads. And that's always a good thing. Now, I give this movie 4 stars because while I did like the movie, there were certain elements of the movie that I really didn't like that I can't really talk about here. However, overall, as I said, the movie was pretty good. The performances were solid. The tension was there. The horror and scares were there. Even a lot of the gore was there. So overall, the movie was pretty good. So I rank it 4 stars, and I urge you to check it out. But that is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. Thank you for watching our video as always. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, keep it non-spoiler, as this is our non-spoiler review of this movie. But let me know, did the special effects work for you? Did all the practical effects help the movie? Did they not? Let me know what you thought of it overall. As always, we want to know what you guys think, so make sure you are leaving us that comment in the comment box below. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're definitely going to want to be a part of the conversation as well. Then don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.